I thought let's just get started on the topic. I was just planning to have some discussion and get an idea about how this affects. So basically, I want to talk about how knowledge sharing is happening through social networking websites like Orkut, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that stuff. So just wanted to get an idea about how many here, obviously everybody would have heard of social networking and are there on most of the sites. How many here have had an experience where they have got some information through social networking which was very useful, which could not have been possible before?
You mean virtual networks?
Through Orkut, Facebook, MySpace, or LinkedIn or something.
LinkedIn has this way of asking questions, which is a problem at the moment. So I have top management come back and say, hey, the attrition percentage in my company is this much this month, and we are not really able to see why this is happening because the usual trend is, only after an appraisal cycle. So can anybody comment on it? And there was a lot of interesting thoughts about, why attrition is happening because, see, one man's loss is another man's gain. So if IBM is losing, the guy is probably going to Accenture, So when you have all of those guys in the forum, it becomes a very great knowledge sharing session. So that was one thing that I noticed in LinkedIn.
Yeah, that is true, but it also depends on how we were talking in the morning about how much of the confidential information are you ready to give out on these social networking websites. So I know most of the coders on my team in Accenture, they actually go out and do Google search, put it on forums and all. But I would say that it's not good actually. They are not using the the KM practice in Accenture, the knowledge exchange which is there in Accenture. They are not using that, and they are possibly leaking some information out of the thing. So there is a thin line actually you are taking when you are.
ரெக்கார்ட் மோட்ல தானே இருந்துச்சு 30 minutes இருக்கு ப்ளே மோட்ல போடு
There is a thin line actually you are taking when you are actually using social networking for it.
Precisely, social network kind of a platform. Unless you give something of quality to other person, your validity goes for a test within no time. Within no time. Similarly, your validity comes up in the social network the moment you start sharing something of quality. Because that's more of the real democratic environment is there.
Right.
Yeah. If you are in such kind of an environment, you are sharing with any question you put across, somebody will start sharing, and you build that trust with that guy. That's an automatic process with any social network kind of setup actually building. It's an automatic process. So I don't think, unless until you contribute something very, very significant to the other person, I don't think it works.
But isn't one of the risk IPs, intellectual property of the organization? You write a bit of code, that code actually becomes an IP of the organization. You are not really allowed to. It's not legal to really share that.
There are these extensive data privacy trainings that each of these companies would advocate, where we'll have
I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is that even if it is something confidential, and unless whatever you are sharing in a network, if it is of no use to the other person, your credibility, whomever is sharing, goes for a toss, for sure. If maybe something confidential you are sharing there, but unless you share that, then otherwise you don't build your credibility. If you don't share something quality, whether it is confidential or not confidential, it doesn't matter to the network. They will throw you out automatically.
You mean to say every social networking site need to have a rating system or giving red card to certain users, giving an authority to users?
No.
Only then we can basically get the quality inputs from a particular social network. Like in our code, I don't see much of knowledge sharing. People just click and get the whole network.
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly
You've seen Yahoo answers, no? I mean, you can ask various questions and there would be somebody who would reply and then you can vote, rate the best answer. So I think, the answer that people find the most credible or useful is given the maximum number of
I guess we
votes.
don't have to worry too much about leaking confidential information here. Because I don't see anybody giving you answer saying, look, in my company, this is a number for something. They point you to something that is relevant, but it's not that they're giving you a direct answer to what you actually want. If they are able to stimulate your thoughts in some way, I think that itself is a big thing.
Yeah, that's a value I'm saying.
Also,
if the other person sees some value.
And I'm sure everybody who's on social networking sites do have some